This is a PowerWorks podcast short with Glenn Power and me, James Pikeway.
It's funny because I put Hurleys on my vehicle. Great value. Yeah. And people will say, "What do you got on there?" I said, these tires work.
Blessed about that as well.
Yeah. They give me a great lifespan, and like anything, like we've been saying here, we're in the UAE. It's warm. I get 3 years out of my tires.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what tire I put on my vehicle. It's kind of like batteries. They all last the same.
Yeah.
And after about 3 years, I noticed a little bit of drifting around a corner. Sure. And it's like, okay, well, or first rain and you're going around and you notice a little slippage. It's like, okay, tires need to be done here again.
Yeah.
And away we go. And I've been really happy with Hurley. I know you were working over there with the folks at one point. And I thought, well, let's give these things a try.
One of the things to remember with a branded tyre that's the OE, so the original equipment for the vehicle, is that tyre was designed with that vehicle and application in mind. So there's always a massive, massive benefit, not just the brand.
Yeah. My problem was I couldn't get the tires.
Yeah.
They weren't even available at the dealer.
Yeah.
So,
and this happens.
Yeah.
So no one has the ability, finances, or bad business sense to stockpile 4 million tyres for an old Wrangler because they go out of date.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got a shelf life. So when you buy cheaper tyres, let's say, when you buy some of these alternatives that come out of countries like China and places like that. And
let's be honest, the Hurleys are a cheaper tire.
Yeah. But when you do that, those tyres aren't built with anything other than the size in mind. They're just made to a size. They're not built thinking, right, we're going to make this tyre because it's going to be on a Wrangler in the desert. That's not what they do. They make them to a size. Now, a lot of the cheaper tyres come out of factories which are also making the expensive tyres, and they share patterns, they share a lot of materials, everything. So you can find that they're good. But I mean, the best example is if somebody said to you, "Okay, I want to put tyres on my car," and they gave you the option of Dunlop or Sumitomo. Most people, if they're told to pick the best tyre, would pick the Dunlop tyre.
Yeah.
Sumitomo Rubber Company make Dunlop tyres.
There you go, right.
So, but the brand name makes people go.
Yeah.
So, there is a bit like buying a handbag. Yeah. It's got a name to it, so you'll pay silly money for it. It's just a piece of leather with a hole in the middle and a zip on the top, but it's got a Louis Vuitton's name on it, so you're going to pay more for it. It's the same with tyres. You sometimes pay more. But one thing to remember is, when, in your example, when Chrysler decided, right, okay, let's make a new Wrangler, who's going to put the tyres on it? Right, let's go to Goodyear and ask them to make a tyre for this car, give them all the specs, give them some wheels, give them some cars, and let them go and test them. And they'll test for 2-3 months and they'll say, okay, here's your tyre. Yeah. And that's how it goes. And they'll want a certain amount of life in the tyres. They won't want them wearing out too quickly. They won't want them wearing out too slowly because they need to be changing them and making money out of it. So there's a lot of things go into making a tyre. But the cheaper options don't have that. They just copy. Yeah. So there is a benefit in cost. But when you're getting 3 years out of them in the climate we're in, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You probably wouldn't get any longer out of a branded one.